Good morning. Welcome to Pathways Podcast. I'm Aaron Groves, and I'm joined by Londa Schnell and Sarah Hanssen. And thank you guys for coming in today to do this podcast recording.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us. This is fun.
Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about Night to Shine because for the second year in a row, I had the pleasure to work with you guys on Night to Shine and creating a prom-like experience for the special needs community and Newton and beyond, really, because we had people visiting from other cities as well. But we'll get into that. But let's do a little introduction of you guys and who you are, what you do, and you're both in ministry. You both work at Community Heights and are taking ground for God's kingdom. So, what do you do?
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. I am Londa Schnell, and I have been the children's ministry director for 10 years now at Community Heights. My family has gone there much longer than that, but on staff, I've been there 10 years. Yeah.
Did you grow up in Newton?
I grew up in Sully.
In Sully?
Yes.
Okay.
Or in the Sully area. I guess I grew up in the country, but yeah, I attended Sully Christian through 8th grade and then went to Linville Sully High School.
And then wound up in Newton.
Yeah. We live right outside Kilduff now, so Newton is not far at all for us. Yeah.
And is your husband from the Kilduff area, or is he from
We
Sully?
live, my husband Jason, we live where he was raised.
Okay.
Yeah, family farm.
Right on.
Yeah.
I actually got to know you. You served on the Christian school board.
Yep.
And so many years ago, we served together.
That was a long time ago.
Do you miss it?
Yeah.
You do?
I do pieces of it.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Should
Those
I not?
meetings would go deep into the night.
Maybe I remember what I want to remember.
Yeah, there you go.
Know.
There you go. You let go.
But that's where I got to know you.
Yeah.
Was Newton Christian days.
Yeah, right on. Right on. All right, Sarah, how'd you wind up in Newton?
Yeah, well, we've been here for about 2 years.
Okay.
My husband and I moved from Ankeny, so we were excited to have the slightly slower, less congested town. Ankeny's too large, so
there's no
Newton's
Oral
really
Labor
nice.
Road.
There is no Oral Labor Road, no Delaware. It's really nice to... Yeah, exactly. But everything's here. Everything that you really need is in town, so it's really nice.
So what brought you to Newton?
My husband, his grandmother lived here and moved to an assisted living, and we took over 13 acres of her farm. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And how'd you get involved with the church?
Well, moving, we really wanted to get connected with community. So we tried out a couple of churches, and a family invited us to a small group, and we stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
and now
really
you're on
nice.
staff.
But that's wonderful. Yes. And so now I've worked there about a year and a half, and it's been
It's so wonderful,
time.
isn't it?
It's been a good time. Yeah.
Let's
loved it.
Beforehand, we were kind of talking about ministry and giftings and whatnot. And so, children's ministry leader for 10 years, gifting of teaching kids.
I think my biggest gift is loving Jesus and loving kids.
Okay.
I love kids. I have 5.
Okay.
My husband and I have 5 kids ourselves, and just love working with kids. They're like little sponges.
Yeah.
It's the best job.
Yeah. And why little kids and not bigger kids?
We all have our giftings, Aaron.
I've used it. Don't worry. I've used not my gifting many times.
It's definitely, I am birthed through 5th grade at the church, and I love to hang out with them past that, but it's just not my gifting.
So you mentioned sponge. What else do you love about kids and teaching kids?
Well, they are like little sponges and so eager to hear the stories and the questions that they have and their perspective. Yeah, there's a reason Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me." Yeah,
that's good. So you're like top dog with children's ministry, but you have other people underneath of you.
Yeah, we have a great team.
And we were talking a little bit about this as well. Praise God for volunteers. And what I don't know, what do you appreciate about your volunteers?
Willingness to serve.
Yeah.
I always say, like, whenever we need help, like, we'll just pull all these people in from all these adult groups. We'll get them all working with kids.
Yeah.
But I really want the people that have a heart
Yeah.
to teach kids the Bible, to really teach them who Jesus is, and start that foundation right. You have to want to do that, to work with kids.
Yeah, it's kind of like you serve because you get to, and it's an overflow of the love that Jesus puts in your heart. It's when you get people that serve because they feel like they have to,
it won't last long.
It doesn't. Yeah, and a lot of times it's unhealthy. And so, praise God for volunteers.
Yep.
Sarah, what do you do at the church?
I'm kind of a catch-all. I started off as executive assistant for our pastor.
Yeah.
And that has kind of evolved to some media and website care. And I've just recently taken on small groups. So I'm going to start the process of just helping build up our small group ministry. So,
yeah. What would you say is your passion?
Community.
Community?
Yeah, it really is. Just getting people connected with people that we have to. That's the only way I feel like we survive life. We talk about this.
Yeah.
You need your people. And I feel like when people walk into a new church, they are seeking God and they are seeking people to help lead them to God. And that's
good.
That's what I love.
And you get to do more of that through the small group thing now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
How
So
cool is that?
I'm pretty excited about doing that. Kicking that off a little bit this fall, hopefully.
You know, a lot of people talk about, it's hard to go to a big church because it's hard to get to know people. But when you offer, classes and Bible studies and small groups, like those are opportunities for people to go to church, to be fed on Sunday. Yes. But it's also an opportunity to get connected outside of Sunday as well. And so
it's necessary, really.
Yeah.
We're designed for community.
Yeah.
You're really not going to feel at home until you find it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And even in the early church in the book of Acts, right, they met daily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, now granted, in America, we live such busy lives that it's hard to make room, but it's necessary and it's good for us to be in community more often than just once a week. So, no, that's good. So let's talk Night to Shine a little bit. Londa, you were with Bo Church last year when, actually it was the year before that, because you guys hosted a virtual event, right?
We did.
In 2022? No,
2023 was virtual because of COVID. 2024, we joined forces, right? And did it live, and then this year.
Yeah. Where did the idea come from for you guys to do that?
So I wish I could remember which conference, but I attended a conference at Valley Church and went to a breakout session where the organizer for their church just laid this out. And I had never heard of it through the Tim Tebow Foundation. And I thought, man, we have huge opportunity in Newton to pull this off. Yeah.
Well, in 24, when we joined, it was a lot of work to do a live event. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it was a lot of work to do a virtual event too.
Less. It was for sure less. It looked different.
Yeah. But so take us through, what does it look like leading up to the event and then the actual night of the event? What does that look like for our special guests?
You taking that, or am I taking that?
Oh, I mean, so for weeks, we kind of plan out what that's going to look like. Months. Yeah, okay. We plan out what events we're going to have, what opportunities and ways that we can honor our guests. And for them, it is just pure excitement, I would say, leading up to it. I don't know how many times you were reached out to by
I had a lot of
guests.
the guests. Yeah. I should probably mention that I have helped with our Special Olympics, our local team, since 2020. So this is year 5 for me for the Newton athletes. And I've just learned a lot through that process and how much love there is involved in everything about it. So when I went to that conference and heard more about that, it was a pretty natural fit to cross over into that because, they're now like friends and family to me.
Yeah.
the guests.
Well,
like
they
athletes.
yeah, you're pretty popular because they know you and they ask
I
about you.
love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's months of planning that goes in. They register online and generally a caretaker.
Caretaker, family.
We have several organizations in town.
We do.
Progress Industries, Capstone, Optime. Yep, that have the ability to go on there and register. And
Yeah, we even had as far as ARC.
Yep, Friendship Arc.
Yeah, in Marshall.
Ames.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. You received inquiries from Ames, Des Moines, I think.
We did have.
Did we have an
guests
inquiry from Ottumwa also?
We had volunteers.
Volunteers
this year
from
Ottumwa. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. So for anyone listening, and maybe they haven't volunteered, but they thought about it, what would you tell them next year, 2026, when we do this again? What would you tell them to do it? To volunteer?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Only if you want to experience something that will change your whole perspective on what joy and really is in my mind.
Yeah, it helps us to grow too.
Oh man, so much.
So that you want to get into the background of Tim Tebow, or you want me to?
Yeah, let's do it. No, you do it.
Okay, so Tim Tebow Foundation started this event. This was year 11.
This was 11.
I believe.
Yeah.
Last year was 10.
There's a beautiful thing about knowing that the same night churches around the world are going to be experiencing what you're experiencing in your community.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a big deal that Tim Tebow had a heart for this. And now it's just so well organized for us that we can just kind of follow their lead.
Yeah, they kind of give you
they give you a lot of
beautiful
information.
binder of information, and it kind of walks you through the steps of what to do to make this night a success. And
Yeah.
Yep. How to respect them as people.
Yeah.
Because we're all created by God.
Amen.
In His image. So if you don't know much about how to work with or how to love somebody with a disability or with special needs, this is a great opportunity to. Because they're people. They're exactly like us, and the more you get to know them, the more that they are just your friends and family too.
Yeah, for
they
sure.
have a lot to offer, a lot of love to give.
Yeah, yeah. I would say I've never heard of someone serving at the event and not being blessed by it, and so
You'll be blessed far more than you may come thinking that you're going to serve someone else.
Yeah, that's missional work, though, right?
It
Missional work. Whether you go on a mission trip across the world, halfway across the world, or you do it in your own hometown when you're doing mission work. There's this idea, okay, I'm going to go and bless people and do this work. And then like you just receive so much.
You do.
And you have your life changed by it. So that's good. So Tim Tebow puts this on. It's Valentine's Day.
It's the Friday before Valentine's Day every year. So next year it's February 13th.
Yeah.
Does Valentine's Day always fall on a Saturday?
Nope.
No, this will be the first one that we have dealt with that. It was like
I know it's February 14th. That's all I know.
That's good that you know
That's
that.
all I know. Yeah. My wife does not like Valentine's Day. She says it's a man-made holiday, and it's
I don't love it. I feel like it sets us up for failure. So this is the one
sets
thing.
you up, or the
just the couple. It sets the couple up for failure. So I'll just focus on Night to Shine.
There we go.
Year for
There we go.
Valentine's Day. Yeah.
And go serve together and be blessed by it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right on.
definitely.
So part of the partnering with you guys was we created some space here. This year we did it a week earlier where we did some dress shopping. So we brought in dresses. Shout out to Many Hands for gathering dresses for us for that event. And we used them last year as well. But they ship in and deliver all these dresses that they've collected. And then we have our special guests that sign up to go shopping, come, get a dress free of charge, or a shirt or a suit jacket.
Guys.
Yeah,
guys came this year
guys
too.
have some stuff to pick from. I think Skeffington's actually donated a bunch of collared shirts.
It was a huge blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Suit coats.
what was the name of the dress place that donated a bunch of dresses?
You would ask that.
Glam?
Hey,
Was it
Yes.
There you go. New
Good
dresses.
memory.
I don't know how I remembered that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, we're just so thankful. And for people at your church and people at our church that donated.
People donated
Yes.
items, and next year we'll have more partners, we hope.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the plan. We're getting on calendars early. So. And actually, I just I bought some vacuum sealed bags for clothing, and I have some dresses in
To
storage.
keep them.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So, so yeah, they come in, and it's so much fun to watch them as they come in because they're like, woo, and then we've got little try-on rooms where they get to try things on, and
Well, and I met some people. We had a whole group come from Des Moines this year.
Okay.
And then at the actual event, I felt like I already knew them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was fun
Yeah.
to like, yeah, you're not a new
Yeah.
friend.
I got to be just a small part of it last year, a small part of Night to Shine last year, but I remembered a number of the guests, and they were like, "You were part of it last year when I came to the
Yeah.
shopping event," and oh man, that was my first time being a part of the shopping event.
yeah,
Oh wow, I loved watching them like strut
Yeah.
and love like
We got some
when
mirrors
you
set
feel
up
good,
for
it
'em.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like when you feel good in your outfit and
When
you
you
know
find the
it,
right one.
yes,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
there's just something about that moment where you're like, that's perfect.
and here's the hard thing. Like there was a couple people who couldn't find something,
Yeah.
and then the tears come or the disappointment. But yeah, you guys, went out and
We
found,
all three worked hard.
We did,
all
we
three of
found,
us.
We found them stuff.
Yeah, and they showed up at the event, and so that Friday, they also can schedule a hair appointment. So Mandy Longacre took care of recruiting some hairstylists this year, and they got some hair done and got little goodie bags to take home with them. But then they came to the church on Friday night. What happens when they come in? Do they get paired up with a buddy right then, and then they do the red carpet
I'll let
walk?
you take that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they show up in the evening just before the event begins, and they get to come in. We usually have some type of fun entrance. This year we had light arches that led up to the
Nice.
door that they come in, and they register. And as they are registering, if they are asking for a buddy, they get partnered with one of our volunteers who is a buddy for the evening that gets to really enjoy the night with them. They sit and they get to do all of the fun things that happen throughout the night with their honored guest. And at the same time, they then get a flower as they're walking through, just like you should when you go to your own prom. Like you get your flower and
Corsage or a boutonniere?
This year
This
was
year we
just
just
flower.
did
Last year we
flowers.
did.
Oh, just a flower.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought I was being fancy by being able to
Last
say
year
it,
we
but-
did
We
that.
did.
Yes.
Yeah.
This year we.
Yeah. Right on.
Yep.
Sorry.
no,
Interrupted.
You're good. That's it. It was fun. We got to have colored carnations that matched our color theme, and so
Yeah.
it was just one little added
Yeah.
feature that the flower court here in town helped us
Nice.
set up. So that was really helpful.
Yeah.
And then,
Then
from there,
you get to share this part.
the
This
red
was your
carpet
family.
event is
Yes.
probably one of the highlights
Yeah.
because most of our guests really look forward to walking down the red carpet because we both had people from our churches and from
Yeah.
the community and family that came to
Cheer 'em on.
shake pom poms and some kids made signs and held signs
That's
just to cheer them on
Yep.
to
Yeah.
make them feel loved.
And
Yeah.
seen
had-
and special.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yep. So that part of the evening is very special. This year we added the crowning
Yes.
at the start of the red
I
carpet.
think that was good.
Yeah, it
Smart
was.
move. You learn. Right? You learn
sure
from year
do.
to year
Yeah.
and it'll take 5 years before you get it down pat, but
It's always changing, I'm sure.
yeah. So I told people too, like if you can't make the meetings and you can't maybe sign up to actually volunteer at the event for the whole night, come be a part of the red carpet, cheer the people on. as
30
they come down.
minutes
Yeah.
of your evening.
Yeah. And it's so great. And then we had the Crisis Canines for the Midlands at the end of the red carpet, which were a hit. And then
They've come both years.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've been a blessing.
Yeah, very
Yes.
welcome. Yeah.
And then they come into the worship center and we have tables and chairs set up where they can just go sit with their friends, and
And they could watch on the screens the rest of
Yeah.
the red carpet, which is kind
that
of
was cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
While they wait, we had balloon artist Daniel Poe.
That guy's really good, by the
He's
way.
very good.
Good.
I saw him last year. I saw him make a Yoda, which I was like,
I think he made a Vikings hat last year too, didn't
really?
he?
I don't
Yeah.
know. He's
Yeah.
doing things with balloons I can't even draw on paper.
Yeah.
So
And he's already excited for next year.
Yeah?
So, very neat guy.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we have dinner. And this
Yeah.
year, Chick-fil-A kind of partnered with us.
Yeah.
Gave us a deal, Chick-fil-A and Pella. So that was really good.
Yeah, delicious food.
And delicious
and
food.
Loved
Yeah.
by all.
yeah,
Great
Yeah.
kitchen team that had it well-oiled machine. They
kitchen team was great. We also had like table assistants, people that were assigned to tables that would go fill drinks. And,
Yep. Took care of their tables.
Yep. I ended up grabbing my daughter at one point and saying, "You're going to start working tables." So
Yeah. So that was another area to serve to the table people.
yeah,
Yep.
yep.
And then after dinner, you or me, go for it.
Yeah, after dinner is the beginning of the party. So we have games set up in different areas of the church.
Yep.
Things like
Plinko.
battle buckets, Plinko.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love Plinko?
Cody back there, who's producing this podcast, was on
Oh,
the,
you were
on
the
the
Plinko.
Plinko.
Oh, yeah.
Plinko guy.
Yeah.
Best
It's
game
so
ever.
much fun. It's so much fun, and you
Yeah.
always win.
You always win. Always get a
So
prize.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just games all over the place, and then we had things like our popcorn machine, your
Yeah.
popcorn machine.
Yep.
Thank you for bringing that. And
Yeah.
then we had snow cones. Both of those
Yeah.
were a hit.
Crafts.
Crafts.
Crafts,
Yeah,
yeah.
we had
Photo booth.
Yep.
a few photo booths.
Yeah.
A few photo booths. And then the best room is the karaoke room.
Oh man.
And if you have not, if you feel like you need a little more confidence in your life, you come to Night to Shine and stand in that karaoke
You won't
room.
stop
and it's,
smiling.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
there's so much confidence in that room. I was just absorbing it.
I saw one guy singing a song, and he was getting so into it, he kind of fell down on his butt,
Oh,
but did not miss a note.
he kept
Yep.
singing.
He kept singing the entire time and finished out the song, and it was
Yes.
awesome.
Nice.
And so that the karaoke room is a hit.
It's my favorite
Yeah.
space
And
for sure.
that I know our guests have a blast with it. So
Yep.
yeah,
Should mention before the games that the gospel presentation is shared.
yeah. So Tim Tebow and his wife do a great job of sharing the gospel
Yeah, they
and
do.
just telling everyone how they're seen and they're loved, and Jesus loves them, we love them, and so yeah, that's a key part. I mean, they make sure in the notes that the gospel presentation is delivered, and so yeah, we play that video and it's good.
Yep.
I was gonna mention something else that takes. Shirts. You guys are wearing your Night to Shine shirts from this year.
You are not.
I am
Yeah.
not. I even saw it today as I was packing for vacation. And I was like, oh, my Night to Shine shirt. And
Should
it didn't
take
even
that.
dawn on me that I should change and put it on. But my wife doesn't like it when I dirty more clothing than what I'm supposed to. So it's for you, hon. So
So loving.
Yes.
So
yes.
loving.
Yeah.
But that was one thing we heard from last year is that they wanted shirts.
They did.
And
So we did away with the boutonnieres
yeah,
so that everyone could get a shirt this year.
and they were a hit. That's great.
Yep.
So got their shirts, and then kind of after the game time, snack time is dance time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys get on the dance floor?
Absolutely. 2 years in a row.
Yes. Woot.
Yeah. Yeah. Leighton L. Scott is our DJ for
Yeah.
the night. He was made for it.
Yeah.
He really
Yeah.
was.
He does
Like,
such a
he
good
gets,
job.
He
He does.
stepped down at one point to get a drink, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I need to rest for a second." And then he turns, and it's like the switch came on, and he was back into his like jumping up and down and
Yeah. We have
cheering
light
everybody
sticks.
on.
Yes.
Oh, it's so much
the
fun.
foam light sticks
Yeah.
were a hit.
We have guests, special guests that come and enjoy the dance as well. We've had the Newton Cardinal
Yeah.
and Iowa State's Cy
Cy
has
was
been
it?
there
Yeah.
2 years in a
Yeah.
row. Yeah, go Iowa State.
Herky has not.
And yeah, Herky.
Herky has not
Herky
been
has
there.
not been
He's
there.
busy winning.
Oh, okay, sure. Don't get me into that sports.
As you talk to two Cyclone.
Yes, really, really big Cyclone fans here. But then we had Iowa League of Heroes
Yeah.
come and join us this year
Yeah.
too, and
Batman
So
and
did the
Wonder
dance
Woman.
with all of our
yes,
guests.
and
Yeah.
they got to enjoy that. That was so much fun.
It looked like they were having fun.
they said that they had a blast, and that made my heart happy because they're just there. Like everybody's happy to see them, and they're helping out
Yeah.
and left going. That's so much fun. We just had a blast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brock
great.
Purdy did not accept our invitation this year.
Yeah, Brock.
Maybe Caitlin Clark next year.
Maybe.
I don't know. But we do have a couple special guests. Khalil Carter.
Khalil Carter
And his wife.
Yes, and Kevin Lazard and his
Yep.
wife. They came, and that was a lot of fun having them
They do
join
a great
on.
job socializing with
They
people.
Yeah,
they do.
they do.
They do really connect with people really well, and just
Yeah.
again making everyone that they encounter just feel
Yeah.
They've come
so much more special.
both years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep.
I mean, if you're already busy, so it's not like we can call you to be the celebrity
I know.
because you pretty much are
yeah.
one. So-
Yeah.
That week
We
leading
got-
up to
we
it,
gotta
she's
find people that are-
definitely a celebrity.
Yeah.
I don't know
phone
about
doesn't
that,
stop.
but they're the guests are my friends, and I can't wait to see them around town.
Oh, I
or
know.
we had some new ones join the team this year, new
Yeah.
athletes, and I just get so excited. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Right on. And then during the dance party, there's a balloon drop
Yeah, halfway through,
halfway through.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. And then,
which is pretty exciting. This year, balloons started popping.
yeah. That was
a lot of
Yeah.
popping everywhere.
Yes,
but
lots of popping.
that seemed to be the thing to do was stomp on the balloons and pop them.
yeah, so we may have to do something new and exciting next year.
Yeah, we said maybe bubbles.
Maybe a bubble
Like a big
machines or
bubble
something.
machine.
There you go.
Yeah, we
Get
have
a-
time.
I don't know.
Get a fog
Yeah.
machine and a bubble machine.
Oh,
So that
man.
we can't see each other.
Yeah, maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
See, this is why you
This
guys.
is
Yes,
why
we
we
have,
women
we
are in
have
the
to have a
planning.
good meeting of the minds to
Yeah.
get out the bad ideas.
Yeah,
Yep.
but then the night ends at 9,
Yep.
and
Give or take.
yeah, yeah, and everybody I think goes home just blessed, and
I like to describe it as like really the love can't stay in the walls of the building. It's
Yeah.
like it needs to get out.
yeah,
Yeah, that's it. And that may not make sense if you've never been to the event, but it makes sense to you.
it does.
does,
Yeah, yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
description. What other? So we provide several other rooms
Yes.
at that event. One is a sensory room. Can you describe that real quick?
Yep. So sometimes everything that's happening may just be overstimulating,
Yeah.
and someone may need to get away. Like
Like
the balloon
popping
popping,
balloons.
for
Yes,
instance.
yes.
I was overstimulated.
That was a lot.
Yes.
a
So
lot.
it's a darker room that's more lit with what
Christmas lights?
Christmas lights or something
basically.
like that,
Yeah.
and then they have just activities for people to be able to calm down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And that's manned by a
That
couple
is-
people.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
volunteers.
Team volunteers.
Yep.
To serve in there. Yep.
Yep. And then the respite room.
Yeah, the respite room is a space specifically dedicated to our honored guests, caregivers, and parents, friends who bring them that have chosen to either not be a buddy or just really chosen to have some good time for themselves.
Yeah.
It's also kind of a calm space. They have their own meal that is brought in there for them.
Pastor Trenton makes some coffee.
Yes, Pastor Trenton and his little barista.
Oh, he's
He
a
has a little-
barista on the side, huh?
Yeah, his little
Yeah, he
barista
does.
bow tie. That's what I said it was this year. But yeah, it's just a nice place for them to relax and just
Yeah.
kind of decompress and talk to other
Yeah.
parents, caregivers that experience life similarly.
You know what the cool thing about it is, though? Like, everybody I talk to about the respite room, they're like, we'll use the respite room, but can we go watch you know,
Oh, yeah.
our friends or our family and watch what they're doing. And we're like, yeah, absolutely.
I don't think any of them go in until the red carpet's
Yes.
Yeah.
Until that's done.
finished. They want to be a part of that too.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah. Anything we're missing?
I think that's pretty much all the elements of the evening.
So if somebody wants to volunteer next year, when should they look? Because the registration's usually through your guys' website, and we usually put something in our bulletin about it for people to scan the QR code and go to the website. But when is that usually November-ish? December.
Yeah.
Okay. So keep that on your radars, November, December.
Have
To be able to
meetings in
volunteer.
January.
Yep.
And then like what if someone wants to sign up a guest? How do they do that?
Same place.
Same place?
Yeah.
Go to the website.
Yeah. We reach out to anyone that has attended
Yep.
so that they'll have that information. But if they're new to the event, all of that would be found on the website.
Yep. Right on.
Yep.
If someone wants to donate dresses, shirts, whatnot, I will say hang on to
Contact
it.
Aaron.
Yeah, you can contact me and I will tell you, hang on to it until next February.
Yep.
And then we'll start collecting it. And everything from, suit jackets to suit pants to ties to dress shirts for men and, dresses, like prom style
Dress
dresses.
shoes. We went through a lot of dress shoes.
We did
this
go
year.
through dress shoes this
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, if you have dress shoes, that'd be another good option to have available. But yeah, hang on to that stuff and then get a hold of me next February.
And
Yes.
also, can we give a shout out to Kinetic Edge?
Yeah.
The last 2 years has supported the event financially.
Yeah. So they've chosen as a staff to support the event. And I would just say to anyone else, if you're listening, you have a business or you feel called or led to give financially to the event, you can contact The Way or Community Heights, and we will make sure that gets put somewhere where it will go directly
Yeah,
to
they
that.
blessed financially, and then a number of their staff was
Yeah.
also there
Volunteer.
serving. Yeah, that was
That's
pretty
awesome.
cool. Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. Anything else you want to mention about Night to Shine?
Moving forward,
Yeah.
I would love the way that our two churches have partnered. It would
Yeah.
be great to get more churches involved.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're listening and you're from another church, get a hold of us and let us know that you're interested, and we'll definitely reach out and see how.
Because it's a
partner.
capital C church
Yeah.
event, and it's
That's one of the coolest things about this event is how it brings people together for a common goal. And, I talked about this with a couple other guests, but like these events and other things that our churches have done together, like, so many times churches and communities let theological differences or little things divide them. And yet I feel like our two churches have come together on multiple occasions for things that are good and that share love and joy and honor Jesus. And so we want to keep doing that. We want to welcome others into that as well.
That's what
So-
we should be doing.
Right.
We're not so different.
Right. Right. And guess
we all
what?
have the same goal.
We
Yeah.
do have the same goal. We all want to honor Jesus. We all want to make his name known, and we can do that together. It's so much fun. I loved getting to know you and
Yeah.
people in your church.
That has been a really beautiful thing about this
Yeah.
event. Yeah.
Yeah. And guess what? Someday we'll all be doing church together in heaven anyway.
Yay.
So we better get used to it
Get
now,
some
right?
practice in. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think that's such a great point of just like too often we let things divide us when we should be unified for Jesus. And so, and I think, the youth do a real good job of that because they're like, they aren't tainted by church viewpoints or things from the past or whatever. And like, we see a youth movement going on here where youth from your church and our church are getting together and doing things to grow in their relationship with Jesus. And I think it's a wonderful thing. So let's keep doing it.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else big on the horizon coming up at Community Heights that you want to talk about? Easter Sunday service coming, right?
There's always, we had a 3-hour staff meeting today.
Yes, we
discussing
did.
all the things.
Right on.
Yeah. Easter quickly approaches after Christmas.
Right?
Especially with all the Night to Shine stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there it is.
We got
Yeah.
5
So
weeks. Let's go.
we are working hard at it. We're both like deer in the headlights. What do we have going
Yeah.
on? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Easter's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Always coming up with new ways of just drawing people together.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. In kids ministry, there's always camp and VBS. We got
Yeah.
lots of stuff coming that I need to get very busy at. So,
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
I did hear there was a conference last weekend, right?
A women's
Yes, we had a
conference.
women's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Conference.
there's multiple people from our church that went to that and were very blessed by it. Said it was really good.
It was really good.
So-
yes. Yeah.
I exercised at a conference. It was great.
At a church
Wait, what?
conference.
Yeah. There's like
Describe, please.
Hannah Bartlett.
Oh, yeah.
Who leads exercise
Yeah,
classes.
about
Yeah,
getting physically
she-
healthy, right? Like
Yeah,
that was
but
part of it?
incorporating that with your faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. We did an actual workout.
Tell me what you did.
Sticks.
Wait.
Like
What?
it
don't
incorporated
even-
drumsticks and
Oh.
movements with worship music and
Did you have something to drum on?
just the floor
Okay,
and the air.
right on. Could you keep a beat?
Yeah. There's a whole room of women cueing a beat. It was really great.
I can't
so
keep a
much
beat.
so that this week in kids ministry we're gonna do sticks.
Nice.
Yeah.
So were they real like drumsticks?
Real drumsticks. Yeah.
Man, there we go.
I'll have to record it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. We used to have an exercise class here this is 10 years ago that used to meet. It was called Praise Zumba.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And they would
That's so
they would
fun.
meet and exercise and work out to worship music and yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just another way to have community with women. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I don't know that men would do that.
I don't think they would.
Hammers. If
Yeah, there you
keep
go.
a beat
Yeah,
with a
that
hammer and
sounds
hammer in a nail. Maybe
We
something
won't be doing that in kids ministry.
No,
There will be no
thanks.
hammer worship.
Well, there was a men's weekend here one time, and they had a nail driving contest. How many pounds did it take to drive the nail into the tree trunk? And so, yeah.
Nobody got hurt in the
No,
process.
no. We're all professionals.
Okay.
Says the guy who put up so my wife left for the weekend, right? And that means that I can actually do a home project and like completely mess up the house, and she's not there to be anxious about it because I'm making a mess. And so I bought pipe shelving, and she's wanted a bookshelf. And so I'm like, probably the most cost-effective way to do this is to do the pipe shelving and buy just wood shelves for it. And so I did that and realized I put one together wrong. So it was not leveling out right. So I had to take it apart. And now I have this little screw hole in my wall that you can see. But
Yep.
you know what? I got it done.
You did get it
And I
done?
cleaned it up before.
And she
she
was
got
really
home.
happy.
She was happy. She's like, I got my bookshelf. And I'm like, yes. And it's clean in here because it was destroyed for a good 8 hours. So anyway.
I like to paint the house when Jason leaves on work things.
Really?
You like,
Like
to
the-
paint the house?
Yeah,
inside?
he'll come home and there's a different room painted.
I'm
Yeah.
going to invite you over to my house.
I know. Do you despise painting?
I despise painting, but my husband's horrible at it, so I am the painter, but I really dislike it.
Huh. Do you texture too at all?
No.
No, just paint.
it's pretty much just painting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's
Changes
your favorite?
the look of a room.
What's your favorite color to paint?
Oh, well, right
What's
now it's
what's the
just,
end color right now? I should ask.
white
White?
or, just clean in the white family. Yeah.
Really? Is that considered boho? Or is that more of a tan?
Oh, we're getting kind of out of my element.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't know.
okay. Well, boho is. Let me tell you.
I would like to know, what is boho?
It's like I honestly don't know, but like my daughter is wanting to decorate her room with boho, and it's like it's white. It's like very light tans and taupe colors.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
so that vibe.
Boho
It's in.
chic.
Yeah.
Boho chic.
That was a room that we had as a display when I worked for Homemakers at one point. So
Oh, you worked for Homemakers.
boho chic, yeah, for a little while.
Would you?
Well before coming
Okay.
here.
Okay. Right on. What did you do before ministry?
Oh, I've done so many things, Aaron. I'm not young.
You're not that old.
I have dabbled in a number of things. Insurance, real estate.
Did any of them like you enjoy?
Oh, I enjoyed all of them. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I've been a mom for a long time, so
Is that your favorite?
probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
Oh, my youngest are 13-year-old twins.
Uh-huh.
And then right now, 23, 25, 27. Yep.
So you're twins.
Yep.
Boy, girl, boy, boy, girl, girl.
Boy, girl.
Okay.
7th graders.
Are you done having kids?
Very
or-
done.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We have 2
But you love kids.
I
You
love
love
kids,
kids.
but now I'm having grandkids.
Yeah.
So-
Is that even better
Yeah.
than being a parent?
Yes.
Tell me why.
They go home. Isn't that what grandparents all say?
Right?
You
Yeah.
love them, you spoil them, and then you send them home.
Yeah. Yeah. And then mom and dad can never measure up to grandpa
Right?
and grandma.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So we have 2 and 2 on the way. So
I can remember there was this one time when Addie, my oldest, was a very young child, probably 2, 3, 4. And I tried calling my parents, and I need to leave a message on their phone. They only had a landline. Well, they probably had cell phones. But anyway, I was calling the landline, and they had an answering machine, but it wouldn't pick up. And I'm like, I go out there later, and I'm like, hey, I tried to get a hold of you guys, and leave you a message to let you know whatever. But the recorder or the message machine wasn't working. And they're like, oh, Addie, she was playing with it, and she probably unplugged it. And I'm like, I would have been beaten as a child for that.
yeah, but the
And yet-
grandkid can
Yeah,
get
for the
away with
grandkid,
anything.
it's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
And they can do whatever they want.
That is true.
And so, yeah, I do look forward to being a grandparent.
It's a great
someday.
phase of life for sure. Yeah.
So I have a 13-year-old, soon to be 14-year-old. Any advice on how to connect? Because she's kind of in this phase right now where she doesn't really want to spend time or connect with mom and dad. Any suggestions or tips?
I will like what they like, but I will say it's just a phase.
Yeah.
Like pretty soon you'll be cool again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What age does that happen at?
Oof.
I'm always cool. I'm not going to be cool again, but anyway.
You're cool right now to your daughter?
Depends on where she's at. At home, I would say yes. Out with her friends, absolutely not.
Right. So know your place. Well, you talked about a vacation.
Yeah.
Vacations are still good with teenagers.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Right on. Yeah,
Put
we're
everything else aside.
gonna go. We were blessed by my in-laws to take us on vacation.
Nice.
So yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yep.
And those are memory makers too.
They
I
are.
really like going somewhere and making memories and
Because everything else gets put aside.
yeah. I feel like I'm getting to this phase too of even like gift buying for like birthdays and presents and Christmas. Like, let's do something to create a memory versus a piece of plastic that's
that you won't
eventually
remember in a month.
right gonna lose its luster. But yeah, I remember vacations with my parents, and I still sometimes like remember that feeling you get when you're a kid and like you went somewhere that was really exciting and you got pumped up. Like sometimes when I just think about it, I get that feeling that kicks back in. It's kind of fun. So
So
all
just
right.
keep doing that.
All right.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on. Sarah, you're a mom.
I am.
2?
I have 2.
Okay, what are their
Yes.
ages?
3 and 6 months.
Okay.
So they're still little. They still fully love me most of the time.
Yeah.
Because I give them a cookie and they're happy. And
Yeah.
That's all that
Yeah.
it takes right now.
Not an iPhone.
No,
just a
yeah,
cookie.
I don't have that request yet. I don't
Yeah.
have to tell them no, you're not old enough, and be the worst mom ever.
Yeah.
That's where I am.
I know. I'm sorry. I love you.
It's okay.
You can support me when I reach that.
I will.
There you go.
again,
I will
because-
have made it. Hopefully.
yeah, you can give me advice.
What's your favorite thing about being a mom?
Being a mom,
Yeah.
like we desired it for a long time, but it took 5 years to have our first,
Wow.
and then a few more trials to have our second. And so, it's just been a blessing. Like, I think we're both a little older. I'm much closer to 40 than most of my friends who have had kids when they were in their 20s.
Yeah.
So I think that time has allowed me to just mature a lot and realize that I can't take for granted any of the time that I have with them. So, it's been really good.
That's good. So we had a daughter first, and I'm so glad we had a daughter first because it really softened my heart. And we have my youngest is a boy, so he has a lot softer version of me than if he would have been the first, I think. So very thankful God gave us our kids in the order that he did. 2 girls and a boy.
He knows what he's doing.
I was going to say, his plans are pretty good, aren't they?
He does. And it's crazy how different they are too. Like
parents the same, but
you have the same parents. You were raised the exact same way for the most part. Like how? Like I'm not going to say which, but I have one daughter who is not as clean as the other, is not as motivated as the other. And I'm just like, what's happening here? And so, but she has her giftings too that the other one doesn't have. And so anyway, we'll see if the boy's a mix of both of them or more like one than the other. So I hope he's got some of my character. I hope he's not totally like me when I was a kid. I was kind of a turkey.
Well, I know him. He's a pretty good kid.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah.
Good. That's good to hear. Does he take instructions well from?
He does.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed as a parent, so I coached him in wrestling.
Okay.
And he does not take coaching from me well at all.
It's hard from the parent perspective.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm like, bud, you need to do this. Like, you need to, when you take your shot, you need to go to, I am. Yep. And I'm like, no, you're not. That's why I'm here talking to you. What do you mean? And like, so I've learned, like, I go to one of the other coaches. I'm like, hey, can you go point that out? Takes it totally well from there.
Yeah. I'm glad that our kids save that side of themselves for their parents.
We just had this discussion with someone else that was like, I would rather have the worst of my kids so everybody else gets the best. And, when we get frustrated, we're like, man, so-and-so, they frustrate me. And we'll get a reminder from like a youth leader of like, they're such a good kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they volunteer to pray, like, and their prayers are like, spot on, and they're not canned, and they're from the heart, and they always helping. And I'm like, okay.
Being your child's safe space is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Like, we've also fostered. And so being the safe place for someone, it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. And but when you hear that from teachers or, the youth pastors, is like, it's important to be reminded, okay, they are good people, even though you see some of the terrible.
There is some fruit from
I
all
love
this
to
watering.
remind to let parents know when their kids really do something well. Yeah. They're like, really? Yes, your kid.
Yeah, that's awesome. I try to do that in coaching soccer and coaching teenage girls. Try to reach out to parents and just say, hey, your kid's awesome.
We need to hear that as parents. Yeah,
we do. I want to hit on fostering real quick since you brought that up.
I have two.
You have two. Yeah. All right, awesome. I'm gonna ask this question: Is fostering hard? Is it hard to be a foster parent?
I tell people it's the hardest thing that you will ever do and the most rewarding.
Yeah.
That's 100% true.
Yeah. And so part of the reason I'm bringing that up is because Wildwood Hills Ranch out of the metro area, they reached out to us about partnering with them to provide support to foster families in Newton. And so we've got a team here that's starting to develop plans for providing meals and providing rides and being prayer support and trying to support the foster families because it is so hard, just as you guys said. And so I would just tell anybody listening, like, if God's laying it on your heart to support foster families. Maybe not necessarily foster, but to support those who do. We're gonna have a team developing some ways to do that. So stay tuned. But
It's awesome because not everybody feels called. I feel like you have to feel called to that,
yeah,
or it won't work.
yeah,
So if you're not called to that, but you could support a family that is called to that,
Yep.
yeah, is also important.
Yeah, we
Yep.
can all play a part in it.
right.
And the parts can all look completely different, and that's
Right.
okay.
How many of your kids? How many kids have you fostered over the years?
I think we fostered 5.
5.
Yeah.
We only fostered 2, but one of them more than once.
Yeah. I don't want you guys to provide details, but I'll provide a perspective from a law enforcement perspective. I think for most families in church, they have no idea some of the homes these kids come from.
I didn't.
Yeah. I can tell you I've been in homes where we did what was called a drug endangered children removal, where no food in the fridge, no bedding on the beds, clothing, like no, you can't see the floor because of clothing and trash. Constant, I shouldn't say constant. Oftentimes there's some sort of abuse that's in play as well.
Or at least neglect. Yeah.
At least neglect, yeah. But it breaks your heart. I've heard multiple stories of these drug endangered homes of children as young as like 10 being offered drugs from the parents. And so the vast majority of homes that I dealt with in law enforcement, they weren't plugged into a church. Jesus certainly wasn't at the center of their lives. And so I will ask you this. What was it like to introduce those kids into church community and introduce them to the church for the first time? Was it a smooth transition? Was it usually difficult because I've lived so long without being a part of a church body or going to church? And I'd ask, like, more often than not, were they resistant to it or open to it?
Will you take that, or are you taking?
Well, in my personal experience, we had an 8-year-old who, coming into church, it was an exciting time because he just didn't have much in terms of interaction. So this was a place where he was actually able to interact with people his age, and he really enjoyed that. And he loved learning about Jesus. Those were things that I think he actually truly loved doing. And then we had a 2-day-old that came home with us, and so from the hospital, and so she was brought in, but she didn't really have that same experience. So,
Gotcha.
But as a family, we were surrounded at that time. The first time around, we were in Ankeny, and we were surrounded by a church who really, really strove to support foster families, and that was very helpful going into it the first time. And then we were here the second time, and we had a great community come around us and love on our foster sons.
Yeah. Awesome.
I will say it was an easy transition
Yeah.
to kids that we had kids for a sibling group for 9 months, and they loved to go to church, and their mom would actually meet us on Sundays, and
Nice.
they loved to see her there.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity for her to have more time with her kids as
Yeah.
well.
That's awesome.
So you can use it as a ministry.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Absolutely
definitely a
can.
ministry opportunity, not only for the kids, but for the parents
Yeah.
as well.
Mostly for the parents. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, awesome. Do you guys want to cover anything else, or have we covered it all?
I think we've covered a lot, Aaron.
We have covered a lot.
Yeah. But to touch on Night to Shine,
Yeah.
I guess, as I've kind of processed through the night, it was just this humbling, great reminder that it's an opportunity for our community
Yeah.
to show our friends the kings and queens that God sees them as.
That's
And
good.
that's why to continue doing it.
Yeah. And we will continue to do it and support it and put it on. And as long as even, if Tim Tebow Foundation quits doing it, I could see us
We could still
doing
it.
it.
yeah, we could
Right.
We know what to do now.
So that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you guys for the vision of it. And not that I preached not that long ago and give you guys a shout out on a Sunday of how much work you both did to make this happen. And it wouldn't have gone as smoothly as it did had you guys not done so
thank you.
much. And so,
Thank you very much.
yeah, thanks
All
for all
worth
that you guys
it.
do.
All worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a lot of planning, a lot of attention to detail, and you guys do such a good job. And so we're so blessed
You're
to have
the
you guys in our
attention to
community.
detail, thank goodness.
Well, kind of, but I have a lot of help in that. So you help.
Well,
and
yeah.
that we
Can
have
she
just-
give statistics? You haven't done that at all.
Oh yeah, no.
How
So-
many people were required to pull this off?
Well, so we had 101 guests that had signed up. We ended up with, I think, 96 that showed up as honored guests. And then we had 182 volunteers between, people that helped with kitchen, our buddies,
Yeah.
people that helped with games, people that
Hair,
helped with
all of that.
decorations and
Yeah.
hair. And,
That's not a small.
it's-
Good job, Newton.
Yeah,
it-
yeah.
yes.
Our
Way to
community
step up.
stepped up.
It was
Yeah.
a lot of the Way and Community Heights and people who don't attend church but just heard about it through their friends and signed up
Yeah.
to volunteer. People from Atamwa, like we
Yeah.
had said, came up, and it's just awesome. It's a way to kind of feel that Acts 1:8 kind of moment where the whole area is reaching out to people and loving
Yeah.
people well, and just kind of reminding them, hey, you were created with a purpose, just as you.
I
you
say
spoke.
that.
You
I
were
say that.
created with a
On purpose,
and
for a
on
purpose, yeah.
Yep. And God sees you, loves you, and that's what we get to share.
On purpose for a purpose, but your purpose is not to do nothing. And so we were talking a little bit about just the importance of volunteers and importance of people's hearts being in the right place and responding to that heart tug. And so, man, if God tugs on your heart for Night to Shine or whatever, don't say no.
Mm-hmm.
Say yes and let God use you. Let him, be a vessel for him. And
Even
you
if
will
it
be
makes
blessed.
you a little uncomfortable.
Yes.
Well,
I was
that's
just
where the
gonna
growth
say
comes
that.
in, right?
Yes, because it can be kind of scary.
Yeah.
We can grow. Yeah.
Right. Don't get spiritually constipated where you take in, but you don't ever get anything out.
Yep.
And so, anyway, thank you guys again for all that you do for our community and for the church and for the advancement of God's kingdom. We appreciate you guys. And
We appreciate you
Yes.
too.
yeah,
Thank you, Aaron.
yeah. And I don't think I have anything else. Can I pray for you guys to end this?
That'd be great.
All right, let's do it. Father God, I just thank you. I thank you for I thank you for Londa and Sarah, Lord. I thank you for the vision that you gave Londa to start Night to Shine, Lord, and to offer a night for a group of people, Lord, that aren't loved enough, aren't appreciated enough, that maybe sometimes feel like they don't fit in, Lord. And we want to let them know they do. And Lord, I pray that that it's more than just Night to Shine, that they can be a part of the church body whenever they want. They can be a part of other groups throughout our community, Lord. And I don't know. I just feel like Londa's vision and this Night to Shine night is breaking down walls and barriers for our special needs community, Lord. So we just pray you continue to break down barriers and just let them know they are seen and loved by you, Jesus. And I know a lot of times you manifest that through the words and actions of others. And so, Lord, we thank you for all the volunteers. We thank you for all the the people that served for Night to Shine, and that blessed our special guests, Lord, and in return, we're blessed to be there, Lord. And I just pray that joy that everybody felt can continue to resonate in our hearts, Lord, and give us anticipation for next year, Lord, and what you're going to do through this event next year. Lord, I just want to pray a prayer of thanks over Londa and Sarah and what they do at their church, Lord, and teaching kids and pouring into them and just helping them grow in their faith, Lord. Thank you for them and for Sarah creating platforms, whether it's through website or whatever, Lord, to draw people in, to bring them into the church, Lord, to let them know that they can be a part of a church body, Lord. And I thank you for the small groups that you're laying on our heart, Lord, and how people are going to get into closer community and do life more intimately with others, Lord. And so we just thank you for the ways that you're using them, Lord. It's having an impact and an effect in our community. It's having an effect on other churches, Lord, and other congregants and other churches. So just thank you for that. And we just thank you for church partnership, Lord. We know you delight when your believers come together for a common purpose and a common goal to glorify you, Lord, and to love others. And we know that you just smile because of that. And so I pray for more opportunities to do that, Lord, to come together as one church with one goal, again, to glorify you and to serve others. And so, Lord, be with them, watch over them, and continue.